I'm Sean White, and today we're meditating on puppy love. Puppy love is defined as a childish or youthful infatuation with another person, but that's not what we're going to be talking about today. I think we've spent enough time talking about human love and Valentine's Day lately, so instead we're literally going to talk about being in love with a puppy. I mean, look at this face. I mean, what's not to love, right? But even though they're adorable, that doesn't mean having a dog is the right decision for you. So let's get started talking about dogs. So this little guy here is Sprout, and we're currently fostering to adopt him. This gives us a little trial period to see if he works in our house. We already have my hiking buddy, Micah, so we need to make sure that the two of them get along first and foremost. And it's been about 10 years since we've had an adolescent dog in the house, right? And we've never had a puppy this young before. So it's going to be an adjustment for everybody in the house. So we want to make sure that we're all a good fit for each other. Because having a dog is a big commitment, which I know all too well. Except for a 3-month gap around 10 years ago, I've had at least one dog in the house for over 25 years at this point. And believe me, I've gone through the good, the bad, and the ugly, which is why I wanted to talk about this. So let's begin by discussing the health benefits of having a dog around. I mean, that's what we do here, right? We talk about health and wellness. So the first health benefit I want to mention is increased physical fitness, right? Your dog needs to be walked even if you have a fenced-in backyard. They need the stimulation of new sights and smells for their own mental health. Now, when you're out walking your dog, you're also walking yourself. And while it may not burn as many calories as jogging will or provide strength training like going to the gym does, it's still a great low-impact cardio exercise which can help boost your immune system, improve your mood, and relieve joint pain. Now, if you combine it with a hike in the woods, like I do, you'll add all the additional health benefits of being out in nature, which is great. Now, dogs have been shown to lower blood pressure and cholesterol levels, and those can help prevent heart disease. Right? They can also help mental health by decreasing feelings of loneliness, depression, anxiety, and social isolation. Right? They also improve our mood, and I'll say most of the time, not all the time, they can help reduce stress levels. Now, dogs also increase our social interactions. Dogs like to check out other dogs, and those dogs are usually with people who you then start talking to. So having a dog can be a great way to meet people, especially at a dog park. Now, all of this is great, but should you run out and get a dog? Now, when it comes to either getting a dog through a breeder, adopting, or fostering, there are a few variables that you really need to take into consideration. Yeah, they're super cute, but they're also a lot of work, right? There's a big time and financial commitment. You need to take care of them. They need to be fed, walked, bathed, played with, socialized, trained. You have to find a vet for them and make sure they get all their annual checkups and vaccinations and everything. You need to get a dog license. You need to find a good place to board them for whenever you need to go away, which can also be expensive unless you have friends that can watch your dogs for you or family members, right? Now, if you're not ready to take on that kind of commitment, well, then you shouldn't. If you work a lot in the office and like to go out afterwards, or if you like to travel or have to travel frequently and aren't around a lot, well, then it's really not fair to the dog, right? If they're just sitting around all day bored out of their mind, well, that's not much of a life for them. So while having a dog may seem like a great idea for you, you need to make sure that you aren't being selfish and understand that this is a living, breathing animal that has physical and emotional needs just like we do. Now, I can always tell when Micah really needs to get out for a good long hike because he becomes insanely restless. He follows me around And it's not fair just to let him walk around the backyard at that point, right? He needs more movement and new and different smells, right? And he just lights up and gets a little crazy when I grab his harness because he really wants to get out. So seriously consider your ability and level of commitment before making a decision. Now, let's say you've given it some thought and you're ready. Well, what breed of dog should you get? Well, quite often people will choose a dog because it's cute, and all the puppies are cute, right? Or the breed is trendy at the moment, right? And these aren't great reasons for choosing a dog, right? Some breeds have character traits that won't be good for you no matter how cute or popular the dog is. I remember after Disney released the live-action version of 101 Dalmatians, and then they did the sequel, 102 Dalmatians, there was a huge spike in popularity, which created a lot of irresponsible breeding and a lot of inexperienced people getting Dalmatians as pets. Now, they can be a very tough breed to have in your house, especially if you have small children, and people found that out the hard way. Remember, this is a lifelong commitment, so you want to try to be as well informed as possible going into it. So instead of popularity or appearance, you need to have a breed that matches up with your lifestyle and living arrangement, right? If you live in a small studio apartment, a Great Dane or a Mastiff really isn't going to work, right? You'll probably also want to avoid a dog that barks a lot and may annoy your neighbors. Right? If you're an active person, there are a lot of low energy breeds that may not be good for you. If you are like me and you like to go on long hikes, a Dachshund, the little wiener dogs, Dachshunds love to hike and explore, but their little legs may slow you down. They have to work twice as hard just to keep up. So these are things to think about. So what else should you take into consideration? All right. Think of your living arrangements first. Do you have an apartment or a house? Do you have a yard? Is that yard fenced in? Is there an outlet for the dog to get some energy out, right? This is a great first step in finding out what size and energy level dog might be right for you. Next, try to visualize what type of dog you want. Not necessarily the breed at this point, right? Do you want high energy or low energy? Are they your exploring partner or are they a Netflix and chill partner? Are they a big dog? Are they a small dog? Do they require a lot of attention or are they more independent? Do you have or are you planning to have kids? Do you have other pets in the house? Once you've thought about all these things, there are plenty of websites that you can take a quiz and it'll help you find the breed that matches you best. So take a quiz and see what they say. But be forewarned, a lot of times they recommend breeds that you may have never considered before or even knew existed, right? They're matching you up. If you decide to go with a mixed breed, they can be a little bit tricky because you never know how much of a particular breed's characteristics are going to come through. You also may find that a puppy isn't a good match for you and adopting an older dog would be a better fit. Right? Often older dogs have a hard time finding forever homes and they can be great. But obviously, they will have a shorter lifespan at that point because they're older. So you can see there's a lot to be mindful of when deciding on bringing a dog into your life. Now, before I wrap up here, I want to be honest and truthful. Yes, dogs can enrich your lives and provide companionship along with all the health benefits that I mentioned earlier. However, they are animals and they are prone to all the things that we are prone to. They get old and pass away. They can have health problems. They can have anxiety or act out when they're bored. I've had 2 dogs so far who have passed. Flynn, who we had for 15 years, and Sammy, who you see in the show opener all the time with the floppy ears. And we had her for 10 years. And both of them had health issues when they got older and needed to be helped all the time. And it can become 24/7 care, right? If you adopt a rescue dog, it may come with issues or baggage. I haven't had a dog yet that didn't come to us with some sort of problems, right? Separation anxiety has been a big issue around here. And it can be, it can really throw your life for a loop. And I'm not saying this to dissuade you from getting a dog. we're thinking about getting another one. We got Sprout here, right? But it's something to keep in mind. I know people that have amazing dogs that have had no issues at all. So I don't want to sound all doom and gloom here, but I like to give you guys all the information that I can. Now, this is why researching breeds is important. Also, if you can foster to adopt, that gives you a trial period, which is helpful. Or maybe if you don't know exactly what type of dog would be good for you, find a good rescue agency and try fostering a few different dogs first, right? I know people have fostered dozens of dogs, and sometimes that's a good way to go if you can't commit full-time 24/7, 365 as well. You can take periodic breaks if need be and still help a dog out and get all the health benefits when you have the time. So I hope this has given you a lot to think about. Having a dog in your life can be a great thing, and I'm looking forward to learning all about this little guy and developing a relationship together. So if you like this video, then click the like button and share it with your friends. If you want to hear more of what I got to say, then subscribe, turn on notifications, and find out when new videos are coming out. And leave me some comments down below. Do you have a dog? Do you hate dogs? Do you love dogs? Do you foster dogs? Do you have horror stories? Do you have nothing but good stories? That'd be awesome. Let me know. And until we speak again, be well, be safe, and be kind to everybody.